So I got this idea to share my top 10 most played games on Steam of all time uh, as sort of like a biannual thing every 6 months or so to see how it evolves over time. I don't know if that's interesting. For some reason, I found it kind of fascinating. We'll see how long I can keep something like that up. But I thought it would be a pretty cool thing, a little bit of a small video, bonus video, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, let's talk about my most played games of all time on Steam as of June 2025. Coming in at number 10, we have Doom 3. Doom 3 is one of my all-time favorite games, and if you were to count the amount of playtime I've also logged in on the original Xbox, it'd probably be twice the amount of time that I already have on Steam. I really like Doom 3 and its expansions. I actually haven't played BFG edition, at least not all the way through, although I have played the BFG edition expansion, the Lost Mission, I think it's called, or something like that. And I'm hoping to actually get through BFG edition sooner rather than later. Let's just in the near future for a video. So, but yeah, Doom 3 is probably not going to be at number 10 for too long. There are some bubbling just under the top 10 that are likely to pass it at some point. But hey, man, Doom 3 is at number 10, and there's a reason for that. I love Doom 3. Do you like Doom 3? Let me know. Coming in at number 9, we have Mirror. Now, this is a totally different game. If you've ever heard of Honey Pop, this is kind of similar, although its gameplay mechanics are a bit different. And despite the fact that I haven't touched this game since October of 2021, even though it used to be a top 3 or top 5 most played game of all time, it's still hanging in there at number 9. Mirror is a really well-made game. It's a lot better than I think maybe a lot of people give it credit for. Of course, nowadays in a landscape where pretty much any third-party independent developer can just go in and, put slop on Steam or even the Switch marketplace, this game kind of maybe looks like it appears that it can blend in. But I'm telling you, as far as the puzzle gameplay is concerned, this game is really cool. I really like it. I got all the achievements on it. I've pretty much 100%ed this game. The only flaw with it is that in order to really get the full experiences, that you must get the DLC. And unfortunately, the DLC is paid. But if you can, this is a great game. It's too bad the developer is kind of like gone forever. But Mirror is probably the peak of their legacy, and I'm really glad I got this as part of a bundle very, very cheaply. So yeah. So number 8, we have Sonic Origins. And Sonic Origins, I have so much playtime in, mostly because of the fact I have been playing through every Sonic game in order, and through the 90s, that meant all the Game Gear games and Mega Drive games and everything, so I use Sonic Origins for that, and that's why. I've pretty much squeezed almost all the content out of this game. I've played, of course, again, all the Game Gear games to completion, and of course all the base Sonic games, and I've even gotten all of the achievements, and even though I haven't S-ranked all of the challenges for every game in this game, so I guess there is still more content. This is still, I mean, I understand it's flawed. You shouldn't have to pay for the Game Gear games. It should just come in one bundle. The whole Plus thing is kind of like, I don't know. But if you can if you can get around that. I got this on sale last year, and this is what kind of prompted my whole playing every Sonic game in order challenge sort of thing. So honestly, Sonic Origins is a pretty cool collection, all things considered, if you kind of, forget about everything, all the controversy surrounding it. Yeah, I think nowadays it's probably a pretty good deal. I don't know how often it goes on sale, but I reckon it goes on sale quite often. So, I don't know. I think it's worth checking out. Coming in at number 7 is Sonic X Shadow Generations. Yeah, I did play this on PC, and I got it through 2 or 3 days before it came out because I was stupid, and I got the digital deluxe edition because I just couldn't wait. And honestly, I don't regret that decision. Normally, I don't pre-order games because I know how things tend to go. I mean, the only thing I had to regret about getting this game early was that because I played through a lot of the game before its launch, there was no achievement support at that time. So I actually had to go back and earn those achievements. But despite that, I mean, it's a really good game. I think it's endlessly replayable. I made a 4-hour video talking about it. It's one of the best, definitely one of the best Sonic games released in recent memory, and I'm really glad that everybody seems to have agreed that this is a really, really strong adventure for Sonic, and I'm really very much looking forward to seeing what they do with the next mainline Sonic game. But Sonic X Shadow Generations was definitely worth the amount of time that I put into it to 100%. Or I haven't 100%ed the game technically, but I did get all the achievements, and achievement hunting was a great experience for this game. So yeah. And coming in at number 6, we have Grand Theft Auto 4. This was the probably 3rd Steam game I ever owned, so it's understandable, I think, that it would be this high on the list, perhaps. And man, I'll tell you what, GTA 4 is just one of those games that I've always really liked. My friend, I mean, I was always sort of iffy on the whole Grand Theft Auto thing because, at that time I wasn't sure about, what kind of people play this game or whatever. Criminal activity, Grand Theft Auto. There's something like kind of dumb about the name or whatever. But I went to a friend's house and he introduced us to GTA 4, and I was immediately taken by its world and all the things you could do in it. Just going in and spending hours just terrorizing everybody. And I don't know, there's something really addictive? No, but just something very, it hooks you. And even playing through the story mode too is just a really great experience. I actually have 3 different versions of this game. I have one version of it for Xbox 360, one version for PS3, and one version for PC. So I have this game technically 3 different ways, and I just can't get enough of it. GTA 4 was the GTA 5 of my generation, perhaps. I don't know. I can't really say. That was probably San Andreas, but while I do enjoy San Andreas, GTA 4 is still probably my favorite in the series. It's at this ranking in the top 10 right now, but I know it's going to rise higher in the near future because I have a big GTA 4 project planned, so be on the lookout for that. Coming in at number 5 is Halo, the Master Chief Collection. This game I put a lot of hours into late last year. It was just one of those things where I was just playing for my enjoyment, basically. And it also kind of inspired an idea for a video that I would like to do at some point in the future, near future, distant future, who knows, but it gave me an idea, and that's always great. Sometimes it pays to just enjoy games for the sake of it. And yeah, I played through every campaign on heroic difficulty in canon order, and it's a great time. You know, I'm really impressed with how dialed in and well calibrated the mouse look controls are for Halo: The Master Chief Collection. I think they did a really good job. I didn't have to adjust anything for any of these games. They just were perfect from the moment you launched it, and I think that's a hallmark of just, you know, Halo gameplay in general. Halo has always been pretty good with that, I think. So, but yeah, Master Chief Collection for PC. Coming in at number 4 is Doom 2016. Doom 2016, I put a lot of hours into. Earlier this year, I have been trying to work on a nightmare difficulty run of the game on the Nintendo Switch, and so I was kind of hopping back and forth between the Switch and the PC version, and I did end up doing a nightmare run on the PC for the first time ever for myself in earlier this year, and it was a blast. I really liked Doom 2016. It's one of those games that's just so endlessly replayable. You finish the story, and you just start a new one at a higher difficulty. Finish the story, start it again in even higher difficulty, and even like going into the arcade mode and just enjoying that, and you know, getting as many points as possible. It's just a really good time. Doom 2016. Even though it's maybe considered short by most people, I mean, 8 hours or so is actually not that short. I think that's probably like the average length of an FPS game, so I don't know why people were calling this game short, but, you know, I guess a short-ish game that's endlessly replayable is, in my opinion, a better designed game than a 50-hour game who is mostly just, you know, traversal through empty space, or like, you know, character dialogue or cutscenes and like 20 hours of actual gameplay. So, yeah. Doom 2016, though, is awesome. So here's a weird one. At number 3, we have a game called I Shoujo. This is by a now defunct Japanese developer called Illusion Soft, and yes, this is an adult video game. But, you know, despite that fact, the reason why I have so much time, I almost have 100 hours in this game, and it's partly due to the fact that it has so many different styles of gameplay and to a great enough depth that you're never really sure if you've seen everything. Be it the character creation. I mean, I probably about half the time I've spent in this game has been just like creating characters and customizing them and everything. I don't know. I really like that aspect, and like going in and, you know, you're foraging, and then you're crafting things or building your base or expanding, you know, what your current base, or you're finding new recipes for new kinds of food. Just endless discovery, seemingly. I suppose in that way, this game is almost similar to something like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley or something, just because, you know, the story is really, really short, but it really doesn't matter because you can just continue the game endlessly and make new discoveries and do new things. And there's a modder who keeps adding more content to the game for pretty much free, which is pretty cool also. So all of that just helps give the game a life of its own, and it's just really cool. I haven't played this game too recently, but of the near 100 hours I've put into it, it's a really great experience. It's too bad Illusionsoft went out of business. I don't know what what happened with them, but I think they made this wasn't their last game, but it was one of the last games, and I think they went out on a high note with I Shoujo. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 2 ranking is Forza Horizon 4, and that shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody who might know me. I really like racing games, and it's kind of hard to believe that I put this amount of time into Forza Horizon 4, but it's true. Forza Horizon 4 I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with, though. This isn't my favorite racing game of all time, but I have I have this many hours in to the game, almost 200, and it's like a huge distance between 2 and 3, like the ranking on here, and it's crazy. But collecting cars and testing them out on the various tracks and seeing lap times I can get, that's something that I've always really liked. I always like really long tracks, so the Behemoth, the Goliath, like those big tracks are really appealing to me because of that. And I like to drive the really old cars, especially to kind of compare them against each other, or like comparing like the Honda Civic Type R versus the the Ferrari, what is it? What's it? It's a really, really popular one. The name of it's an Outrun, the Outrun car, the Ferrari something, that sort of thing, or to see like, ooh, is modern compact car performance as good as 80s, exotic car performance? So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. It's a really fun game, and I have played online against people before, and that was also pretty fun. All of the game modes are really cool, although I never really got the hang of the one game mode where you have to race to the center of the kind of like a battle royale. I forgot the name of that game mode. It's been a while since I've actually played multiplayer, and even now that the servers are dark and pretty much the game is delisted and dead for licensing reasons, I got all the DLC before the game shut down as part of like their last chance sale, and the DLC adds so much more content. I mean, it's not like it doesn't necessarily add, of course, like a whole other game on top of it, but for what it's worth, I mean, man, for the deal that I got it for, especially, I mean, that's really good. I really like the experience of this game. I got the Lego DLC, which I actually kind of liked, and I also the Fortune Island, which is a really, really strong expansion. I can't complain. Forza Horizon 4, in spite of its premature demise, I think that overall it was a great experience, and it still remains to be. And I'm glad I got it when I did. Last but not least, number 1, and it will probably reign as number 1 for who knows how long, is Total War Empire Definitive Edition. The first Steam game I ever got back in 2009 or something, or 2010. Total War Empire, or as it was back in the day, Empire Total War, is what was a really, really addicting game for me. I really liked both the tactical and grand strategy gameplay modes of this game. And while it isn't the deepest, and it's certainly not the best game in the Total War series, I mean, I have played Rome and I have played Medieval, and even though those games, Medieval 2, and even though those games are older than Empire, they are deeper and they have more to them. Empire, just like, I don't know, it was, I guess, there's something to be said. It's the first game in the series I ever got, so of course, that sort of thing. But yeah, Empire Total War, or Total War Empire Definitive Edition, whatever you want to call it, is one of my all-time favorite games. I've had it since I was a high schooler. And I remember trying to run it on the family computer with a Core 2 Duo, and how that ran at like 4 frames per second, and then getting my laptop and being blown away that the game could run as smoothly as it did, even though it wasn't really smooth at all. And now, where I can play it on a modern machine, and the game thinks I don't have enough VRAM. All of these things, just combining together. And it's a great game. I still boot it up even now. I have 2 campaigns going, one on my computer that I use for capture, and then one on my MSI, which I started. The former is a Polish-Lithuanian campaign, and the latter is a Prussian campaign. My first campaign ever still lives on in my original HP laptop as the Ottoman Empire, and that's the only grand campaign I've actually finished. But I would really like to go and actually try to go for some more achievements. It's kind of weird that I have this game for 15 years and I only have 8 out of 30. I don't even have 1/3 of the achievements, but I would really like to do the American campaign at least, and try the other game modes. I have played multiplayer on it before. I remember being at school and doing that, and that was pretty cool. Using the school Wi-Fi to play against people online. I won that match too, by the way. But anyway, that's besides the point. Empire Total War is one of my favorite games, and I know, I'm very well aware, it's not the best or the deepest in the series. But it's still one of my favorite games of all time, just because of the history that I have with it, and just like the story around acquiring it and everything to begin with. So now, like, as part of a little bit of speculation, I'd like to make a couple of guesses. I think by the end of this year, Doom 3 will no longer be in the top 10, and I think that GTA 4 will climb up the ranks pretty substantially. It might rise as far as number 4 on the list. We'll see. Looking below the top 10, I think Doom Eternal will enter the top 10 yet again, because I'm going to try to go for all the achievements, go for a perfect game for Doom Eternal, since I already did it with Doom the Dark Ages, and I really want to go back to Doom Eternal, even though I don't have any video ideas planned for it. I do think that Shenmue 1 and 2 will rise up the ranks pretty quickly. Maybe not hit the top 10 by the end of this year, but we'll see. And I think that's and I have to finish AI Limit. AI Limit is pretty low down, but I think it'll rise up relatively quickly. All these games are pretty close together. It might displace maybe as high up as I don't know, maybe get to a similar level where Call of Duty World at War is. I don't actually know how deep into the game I actually am, so not entirely sure, but I think AI Limit will rise up as well. And who knows? Who knows what'll happen by December? I guess we'll see this update when that happens. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this kind of, interesting bonus video of sorts. And I'll see you next time with something scripted. So I think, maybe, we'll see. Anyway, let me know what your top 10 PC games are, most played or whatever, if you want. Anyway, see you next time.